There's nothing in the world that's more important than keeping your family together for your child. Hi guys, my name's Courtney and welcome back to my channel. I usually do daily vlogs on this channel, but today's video, as you can probably tell by the title, is a little bit different. If you don't know my story or who I am, I will link my story video up in the iCards for you guys to go check out. But I will just give you a quick rundown. My husband is in the army. He was deployed mid last year and we've spent the last year apart. And in that year, a lot of things have happened. If you want to know what has happened, go back and watch my videos. But just in the year we've been apart, we've grown apart significantly and the marriage wasn't great to begin with. I have no notes for this video. I know that that's something I probably should have done, but I wouldn't have enough time to write everything down, record and edit in one nap time. So I'm just sitting down and chatting to you guys about what's happening between Andrew and I. Andrew and I decided quite a few weeks ago that we no longer work as a couple and we wanted to separate. There are many reasons behind this. Main ones being, obviously we haven't been together for an entire year and it's taken a huge toll on our marriage. Another reason is communication. He's not great at communicating and I like to sit down and talk about my feelings, as you can probably tell by what I'm doing right now, but we're very different people, which is fine. I mean, I understand that we could probably make it work if we really tried, but ultimately what happened was I gave Andrew an ultimatum of the army or me. And I'm not here to defend myself from nasty comments or bash my ex-husband on social media. I'm just here to fill you guys in on what's happened. I gave him an ultimatum of the army or me, and I feel like for some reason I have to defend that choice of me giving him an ultimatum. And here is why I did that. I spent 3 years in Townsville and I was miserable. We were there for his job. I moved away from my family and I hated it there. And Andrew joined the army while we were dating, so it's not like I met him and knew he was in the army. A lot of people have been saying, oh, you knew that he was in the army, you should just deal with it. But not only that, I didn't know how hard it was going to be to live away from my family and I didn't enjoy it. I don't want to do it again. So basically what I said to Andrew was, you know, I really want us to work as a family. We've got a baby together. Would you be willing to leave the army for me? Yes, Andrew is about to be based here in Brisbane with me, but in 3-4 years, however many years, they're eventually going to come back and be like, okay, now you're going to Darwin. And I don't want to do that. I don't want to be moving every few years and uprooting my life. That's not the lifestyle I want. And just as much as it's Andrew's decision to be in the army, it's just as much my decision to not want that lifestyle. So I gave him an ultimatum of me or the army, and ultimately he has chosen the army. Now, I didn't come here to bash him, and I don't want you guys to hate on him in the comments or anything like that, because ultimately this is a mutual decision between the two of us. Just the other day I spoke to him and said, look, I would like to try and work this out. I do want to try and be a family. Would you reconsider leaving the army? I asked him a second time and he came back and said, this marriage is beyond repair. But I'm paraphrasing, but basically he said, this marriage is beyond repair. It's not going to work either way. So no, I'm not going to leave the army for you just for the marriage to fall apart anyway. That's pretty much what he said. And that's his choice. I mean, I can't change his mind. I'm not here to try and change his mind. In my mind, I wanted him to want to leave the army for his family. I don't want to make him do that, if that makes sense. As much as ultimately it was those words that like flipped a switch in my brain and I went, okay, he's not going to leave the army. And if he's not going to leave the army, I don't want to stick around because I don't want to, like I said, uproot my life every 3 years. I don't want to have to deal with my husband being deployed. I don't want to have to deal with that anymore. In his mind, the marriage isn't worth leaving the army for. And in my mind, I don't want the army lifestyle. So unfortunately, those things just aren't compatible. I don't want to be with someone who's in the army and he doesn't want to leave the army. How can you make that work? You just can't. This has been a long time coming and we have technically been separated for a few weeks. I just haven't announced it because I guess if I'm being completely honest with myself, maybe deep down I thought it would work and he would move here and be like, oh, I've changed my mind, I'm going to leave the army, but that's just not going to happen. So yes, he is going to be here in Brisbane soon And it might seem like a really stupid decision from like where you guys are for me to leave, which is exactly what I'm going to be doing, but I need to start my own life away from the army lifestyle and move on with my life. So within the next 3 weeks, I'm going to be moving out of this house. This is a defense house and this is basically Andrew's house. So I'm going to be moving out of here, and there is probably, I'd say, a 90% chance that I'm going to be moving in downstairs from Tian. If you guys don't know who she is, she's another YouTuber. I'll link her channel down below, and I'll also put her channel up in the iCards or something like that. So go check her out. That probably was all over the place. But in summary, in the next 3 weeks, I'm going to be moving out. Andrew and I have been technically separated for a few weeks already. We have discussed it. We've come to a mutual agreement on custody and child support. I don't know what you call that overseas, but we're on friendly terms. We're chatting and we're talking about these things and we're on the same page. I don't hate him for staying in the army. He doesn't hate me for not wanting him to be in the army and leaving because he's in the army. There's no hard feelings. We're both mutually respecting each other, and we're going to co-parent Talia more than we have been because he hasn't been here to co-parent with me. So when he moves here, he will see her more, which is great. I've watched a couple of these videos on YouTube of like, we're separating, we're getting divorced. I've always watched these videos when they have a child, and I've always gone or said to myself, just make it work, you have a kid. Like, there's nothing in the world that's more important than keeping your family together for your child. Sorry, I didn't think I was gonna cry, but I came prepared. But in reality, there's just a lot of things other than what I've sat down and told you in this video that you guys don't know about, and there's a lot of reasons as to why we've both decided that it's just not going to work. Other than the army, which is a big thing, and communication, which is a big thing. There is a lot of other things. We're just very incompatible. I just wanted to sit down and kind of explain to you guys what's going on. And the reason I'm doing this now and I didn't do it earlier is because I didn't feel ready. And like I said, a small part of me was hoping that we could work it out until he said, no, like this isn't going to work regardless of whether I'm in the army or not. Until that point, that like there was a part of me that hoped we were going to work it out, but as soon as he said that, I realized that we weren't, obviously. I'm recording this video now because I want to take you guys on the journey of me moving out and, you know, buying furniture and starting a life without Andrew, which if you've been watching my channel for a while, my life pretty much has been without Andrew for about a year. The only difference is I'm going to be having to financially support myself somehow, and I'm going to figure that out. I'll figure it out. Regardless of what happens, it's going to be hard, it's not going to be easy, but that's what being a single mum is. In the future, I would love to sit down with Andrew and basically do this video with him so that we can both tell our sides of the story. If you guys have any questions, I don't want to sit here and I don't want you to think I'm bashing him. Like, that's not what's happening at all. We both just want different things, and there's always two sides of the story, and I don't even know his side of the story because he doesn't communicate with me, so I can't even share that with you. And even if I did know, it's not my story to tell. So unless he's willing to sit down and, you know, chat like this with you guys and maybe tell his side of the story, I can't do much or give much information on how he's feeling about it. I think in the long run, it's going to be what's best for all of us, including Talia, because just from the last few weeks of being separated, I think in the long run, we're gonna be happier, because in my mind, when we've been married the entire time he's been apart, I feel like he's been letting me down by not getting here, even though it's probably, like, it's not his fault, it's the army, whatever. I have been feeling like he's been letting me down. But now that we're separated, I have no expectations of him. He can do what he wants because he's not my husband anymore and I've got no say in it. I already feel relief and I don't have to worry about that anymore because it's not my responsibility. Him being a father to Talia, that's now his responsibility. I've got no say in it because we're not together anymore. I can do everything in my power to be the best mother to Talia, and that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna continue to be the best mother that I can be for her. And he's a great dad, and him moving here is gonna be great for her. I think she's gonna really enjoy seeing him. I won't go into details about custody arrangements and things like that because it hasn't happened yet. we're going to trial a few things and see what works best for Talia and how she copes with everything. You know, the move alone is going to be a pretty big shock to her system, so we're going to just move slowly and test some things out with her and just take it day at a time to make it the most comfortable transition for her as possible. Anyway guys, that was my update. I'm sorry if it's long or all over the place, probably very choppy. I didn't write things down, I kind of just sat down and blah. So I just wanted to update you guys on what's going on in my life. Let me know if you have any questions down below about anything, and if I deem it an appropriate question and I think it's something I probably should have addressed in the video, I'll answer it in the next video or even in the comments, maybe both, I don't know. Feel free to leave us whatever questions you have down below. Please don't bash Andrew in the comments, and this is my life and we're just dealing with it the best we can. If you want to continue to follow us on our journey and see how the next few weeks are going to pan out, don't forget to subscribe. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it and you want to see more videos like it. My channel is how I'm going to attempt to try and make some money and live. So liking the videos and commenting in the comments is just really going to help me out. Thank you so much for watching guys, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!